Yes, guys, we're back for another episode of Cannon's Corner, the show where we unite all Gunners for match day reviews and the latest news with our very own Logic Lola. How we doing, darling?
I'm alright. How are you?
I mean, for today, I'm okay. For the last couple of days, mm, I've been questioning a lot of tactical decisions, if you will, but I think that's where we kick into today's episode, where, of course, in the last game, Europa League in particular, we got our first game out of the way, and it was a 3 points victory, 2-1. I don't know. I don't know. I was almost happy to kind of say, yeah, 3 points. The win was there. It happened. Got the goal in the end, but the performance, it just lackluster. It looked lackluster. It was just. It wasn't. I partially felt like this was going to happen, but in a sense, I thought, yeah, we would still do it, like try and at least build a bit more damage. But I think maybe because of the way we went tactically and the initial approach, it felt to be the inevitable. Like maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I'm just wrong.
Well,
2-1. I don't know. I'll take it though.
I think we talked about it briefly what we thought would happen during the game in last week's pod, and I think I was fairly dour about it, but I think I said it would be it was 2-1 or 3-1 win because I just
Yeah.
thought based on the fact that just in general on paper anyway we have better players. I just thought we'd do something stupid, but it would be a win. The 2-1
Hmm.
win, we made that game so much more difficult than it needed to be.
Difficult. Yeah.
Like, the players who played made no real sense to me. The
Mm.
picks were odd. Like, was it not that game that Aubameyang was on the bench, which I assumed I didn't even want him to play at all, to be honest. But
Mm.
clearly he because stupidity was happening. But I thought the lineup would be more youth infused, and when I say youth, I don't mean the ones from the academy of the. I mean talking about like Nelson and Smith Rowe type
Yeah.
of youth.
Yeah.
And the fact that I think Nelson came on for what a couple minutes, couple seconds.
Yeah.
That
Not for
confused
long.
me, especially when we were playing. I think it was Saka. Did Saka play that game? Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I think Saka started it, which again I don't know why. He's clearly the starting one for the league, so playing him in whatever. But we played. I think it was Nketiah and Lacazette. So
And
Nketiah
Pepe.
was Pepe there or did he come in?
No wait. No wait. He came on. He came on. It
Because
was
I feel like
Laka and Ketia.
I feel like I
It's
remember.
not Smith Rowe.
I feel like I remember seeing it was a weird one. Like, let me just double check.
Yeah. My mind's mixing it between Smith Rowe and Nelson now.
I know Smith Rowe didn't get to play at all,
No, so it would have been Nelson.
which was.
But
Let me just double check it.
I don't watch this from the beginning.
It was literally the lineup for the Rapid Wien game was the front three of Nketiah, Lacazette, and Pepe. The
I think
midfield
so, yeah.
of Saka, Thomas Partey, and Elneny, and then the back four of Kolasinac, Gabriel, Luiz, and Cedric. Even that thing, it's probably like a three at the back, but let's say it's 4-3-3. The fact that we had like Nelson on the bench, even like Ainsley Maitland-Niles was on the bench, and then the decision was to put Nketiah on the left wing, confused me to no end. And it came out because what was the point? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Nketiah's not a winger. He's never been a winger. He's quick, but he's not quick like that for you to say, oh, we can compensate with him being. He's not brilliant on the
Yeah.
ball. He's not like brilliant on the ball like that where you can say, oh, okay, he can at least skill up a man so we can put him there to facilitate things. He's not the best crosser. He's a box. There's no shame to the kid because I am an Eddie fan, but I know what his capabilities are. He's a box striker. He presses well. So it made no sense to have him on the left, Lacazette in the middle. It was like you just negated so much thing and then forced a lot of the creativity pressure again on Saka. Who Saka is brilliant, don't get me wrong, but the ample amount of like responsibility on this child who is still not even 20 yet. And it was just, the game was just like, it was an odd. The referee, by the way, in that game was absolutely atrocious. I want to say that because for some reason, every kind of small foul that certain players did, immediate yellow card, which was just okay. But
Them
then,
kind of referees, trigger fingers.
I digress, but it was like Partey had for my opinion, obviously the opposition was weak because it was, even though Arsenal made it difficult. Partey was brilliant in my opinion. Like he controlled the game, passed it forward with pace. He was finding through balls. He was finding penetrative balls. He was doing what we wanted him to do. He was cleaning up as well as getting forward, dribbling through. I was like, yes, this is good. It was just like the imbalance was what was niggling me. And then obviously messed it up because there was a whole mix-up with Leno and I think it was one of the defenders, Louise, Cedric, whatever. And obviously that led to the mistake which for me didn't shock me because I feel like with Leno, I rate him, but I know he's got mistakes in him. So this mistake didn't shock me. It wasn't like I wasn't like up in arms about it. My issue is that I think some people are waiting for him to make mistakes now because we sold Martinez. And that's what I don't like. It's like they want him to fail.
Yeah.
Like, the old one is like, we love Martinez. We've sold Martinez. He's no longer an Arsenal player. Consistently bringing up the fact that Martinez may not have done that doesn't help anyone. All it does is adds extra, and it makes any small mistake that any keeper and every keeper has made, it now makes it seem bigger. But then people are doing this whole rose-tinted glasses things with Martinez as if Martinez never made any mistakes. They've like blocked out everything. They've blocked out the fact that, again, I always bring this up when I make this argument because it's like, you've blocked out the fact that Martinez was part of that, I think was it not 7-5 thing with Reading? That was Martinez involved for that.
Yeah, I will never forget that game.
The same season that Martinez broke out, which was last season, he was part of the 5-5 draw-loss thing at the Cup against Liverpool.
Yeah.
Like, he's been a part of these games where he's not been doing well either, so I don't like this constant... So I just try not to do it, basically. Leonard made a mistake, it happens, he was rattled by it, we move in it. That was, but the tactics, MNB won in it, so whatever. Is what it was. We're again 3 points are there, so as long as the same stupidity doesn't happen against an even worse opposition in Dundalk, then we move.
And that's my concern now, because I felt as though our approach in the initial game was that we are going to, well, at first, take any chances given, but try not to obviously cock it up when in possession or not to do too much dilly-dally, you know. But obviously, parts of the game, you could just see that it was a little bit sloppy. They picked up a bit. You don't want to say that, obviously, Leno's mistake was like something you just sit back and expect. But at the same time, it's like, if it happens, react in it, like pick yourselves up. If it happens, it happens. But we still got the rest of the game. Even if it was the last second of the game, you still got however long until the referee blows that whistle to just finish it. So for them to kind of find their own way to do it, we move, because I don't now expect them to have that same the same formality or same reaction or same possibility against this Irish team. Now we've, to my knowledge, never played them again. So I feel like in the last couple of years they've just changed particular rules with qualifications and just allowed further extended like leagues and teams to be credited to join. So I've learned about this team that name wise. I don't follow Irish football, unfortunately, but I'm sure that any of the Dundalk fans or representatives would like speak highly of their own team, and obviously the reason why they're in this competition is of recent progression. So I give them the benefit of the doubt. Shouldn't obviously look at them as a pushover or underestimate them. And at the end of the day, it's still a game we have to go into, and it's one out of the two. I'm hoping that Arteta will kind of take this game a bit more of a serious approach, in the sense of he knows who he has as who's available to him. In the first 45 to 60, aim to just be having the right players on the field to just perform in the mannerism that he feels will lead to the next game, because the next game will be more important than this one, but they should be looked at as equally as each other, if that makes sense. Every game in the Europa League will be important, but our next league fixture obviously is against United, and I feel at this current state he should just build upon the players who he feels will actually guide into the mental confidence to go into the next game with the same results, same aims. We want to win. What are your thoughts?
Whilst I agree about the mentality part of it, I don't want to see certain man in this game against Dundalk. I'm not trying to see Yang. I'm not trying to see Tierney. I'm not even trying to see Saka or Partey. I don't want to see them because they're as fresh as
They
possible.
don't need to play. We have Elneny, he's fit. Xhaka's fine. He can play with Elneny in that midfield partnering, giving Willock's availability. I'm sure he's fine. Tobias will have his minutes. You know, these are the kind of players we need to see more of in these situations.
I want to see Nelson play, because I think I saw a quote from I think it was Arteta or post or whatever about how Nelson was meant to go on loan, but because the point about he wanted to fight for the team, they didn't let him go on loan. So play him.
Yeah.
Played in one full game in the League Cup. I want to see him, especially if he's an actual winger. You can't keep putting our strikers at wingers thinking it makes sense when it doesn't.
It don't have to as well. Like, it's just a bit silly.
You've got Nelson who can play on both wings very well. He's technically secure. You can play it in the hole, but you won't do it. You're forcing other players who can't play in the situations to do it. I don't rate Willock. I want to see him play here. You've kept him, play him in it. You've kept him, play him. I'm not a massive fan of keeping players when they could have gone somewhere else, and then you're just not letting them play at all. Like, play him in the Europa League games, play him in the cup games. So again, also means that we don't have to play people like Tobias and Partey in the Europa League, because I don't want to see it. Play Willock in those where you can get his minutes up, you can get his match fitness up, so that if God forbid someone does get injured, then he's not rusty. Like, he's got minutes under his belt. I don't like, so certain players like Cedric will play because he has to play. He's the other backup right back. If not, play him at centre back, because apparently Luiz is out, and then play Ainsley at right back because he can do that as well. Like, certain things make sense to me. I don't want to see Aubameyang in the squad. I don't want him anywhere near this. I'm not risking anything for a dumb game.
He doesn't need to play. He doesn't need minutes in this game. Like, that's the situation.
My situation with this game is I want Arteta to not overthink. That's one of my big criticisms, because I do rate Arteta, but one of my big things about him is he does have a tendency to overthink formations and situations and tactics when it's very, very clear as to what the situation is. Play players in their best positions. So forcing some players to be playing positions out for no reason makes sense. So you've got Nelson, play him on one of the wings. You've got Nketiah, play him in the centre. You've got freaking, I don't know, Elneny or Xhaka or whatever, play them in the midfield, doing up next kind of contortions to be trying to be extra smart when it doesn't require extra smartness is not only affecting our game, it's affecting the way we play, and it's now showing it's affecting the ability for us to win.
Exactly. Like, if you're gonna do the mixed rotation, it's fine when it's within balance or structure. At the moment, he's still clarifying a balance and the structure. There's no reasons why in any games he's trying to do these unnecessary rotations or certain players being fielded out when it wasn't the time to or in the right place to. We're not going to obviously look at the past and think, okay, like, we're not over it. Obviously, it's happened now. We've seen William play in a false nine. You've tried it. In our opinion, it didn't look right at first, and it didn't really look comfortable. So we moved.
It was that.
Like, it was. it was just not it was not necessary. So when you realize you have certain players you can play out wide, you don't need to force your perfectly good striker to play there. And to be honest, in the previous game to play Lacazette up top with Nketiah and Pepe, it wouldn't really make sense to kind of put Laka in a central role, knowing that Laka is better on the ball than Nketiah. And Nketiah, when he's in a central area and given his time, he's more likely to find the back of the net.
Yeah.
So it was a bit strange that he kind of went with that approach. So this one, in my eyes, and I honestly mean in my eyes, for once, I actually would say he should go with the simplest idea.
No, yeah.
Nketiah up top, Smith Rowe on the left. If he's fit and if he's fine to play, put him on the left. We have Willock in the middle, doing the 10 or forward CM role with Xhaka and Elneny behind, and we would have Nelson on the right. And obviously, if we're still going with wing backs, we could likely have Maitland Niles or whoever seems best fit, because right now we need to work on the suitable players to play centre half. We don't have enough centre halves to
Yeah.
capable to play right now, so Cedric is probably gonna have to go there.
See how the stupidity of not including Saliba in the Europa League is now starting to now look even more stupid.
And all you see around bulletins and articles and news is reports of, will Arsenal be using Saliba? Shall we see the Saliba? As a fan, do you want to see Saliba? So all you're going to see for the next few weeks, few months, like, it's just going to be that. Like, it doesn't make sense to have the player in the squad. He's just come back from the loan spell that you made him do, and then deregister him and not make him available in an important competition. You've been in the competition for 4 successive years and not won it once. What are you doing?
It's confusing. That for me, because I think for everything as I criticize, because I do rate him, but everything I criticize about, as I say, is not even much about play. It's more about some decisions just start with mine. For me, decision, no one can convince me. I don't care about his age. I don't care about him coming from the French league. I don't even care about the fact that he's injured in the French league. He came to England the earliest of all of our squad. He's been here for months, trained for months. Even before situation, he was said to be ready. All this stuff. I never thought he'd be a starting centre back because of his age. I thought he'd be a replacement option. Then, but then now to not register him at all for Europa is one of the dumbest decisions I have ever seen. Because even if you wanted to loan him out, simple safety says register him anyway. Because then what's the difference? He's not, if you don't register him and he goes on loan, if you register him and he goes on loan, oh well, he's gone. But now you didn't send him on loan. He has, that's in one, at least not until the group sessions are over. That's one competition. That's a bunch of games he can no longer play. You seem to refuse to play him in the league. So it's like, you didn't play him in the cup. So it's just a level of, you cannot convince me. No one on God's earth can convince me Saliba is any worse than Mustafi or Socrates or Holding. No one on this God-given earth can tell me that he's worse. I don't care. 19 or not. He could be 17. I'll say the same thing.
It's absolutely true, and I co-sign it because I've seen Saliba play throughout last season, and I still see the promise he shows when he plays as an Arsenal player. I just find it completely worrying, concerning, and strange that they can even fathom making such a decision, because he's a player who's under 21, but he's obviously not particularly from this nation, so he may have required to be registered for these competitions. It probably doesn't apply for the Premier League, but for Europa League, he might have required to be registered. Despite it all, we know, and everyone knows that the club requires to have enough depth to progress, or at least succeed in having a relevantly good season in any way. When you go through that injury crisis, etc., it it becomes a burden upon yourself if you don't then register players that you know you're going to need. And Saliba, for the best example, is a young, promising, exciting little centre half. He's got a bit about him. Why would you then put him in shackles and basically say to him, "Nah, you're not ready yet, or we don't need you yet"?
To
Why
me,
did you sign him?
it makes
Makes no sense.
because I know it's a tired comparison, but I'm gonna make it. His best mate, Fofana, is starting for. Yes, it took injury, but still he's starting and he's showing that yes, I'm 19. Yes, I'm new to the league.
He's playing.
He's playing, and it's even more annoying because this is not just from Arsenal fans. This is just in general. Saliba was the better one at Seneti, and he was the one with the most promise. He was the one that was just literally.
He plays more.
Was not the
He
record.
had a little injury.
There was the records that when Saliba played, I don't think they lost the game. That was the whole thing. They weren't losing when he was playing. So it's not like a mad thought to think that he's good. No one's saying he's going to be Van Dijk. Nobody's saying that he's going to be like the best thing since sliced bread. But we're saying he'd be decent. And we haven't got decent bar Gabriel and Luis. That's all we're saying. We're saying this kid is a good body to have at minimum. No one he could.
He's a much better option than to have in Chambers, and a good competition in the likes of Holding, who's been a competitive centre half. You know,
I've
but we know this. We
Gary.
know this. We see talent. We know this.
It's like no one. Again, I think you have the hyperbolic idiot who was saying before he even played that Saliba is literally going to be the best. No, I didn't say that. I don't know that. But what I won't say, what I'm going to say is that from what I have seen when I watched him in some certain games, I wasn't watching the whole thing. What I've seen in the compilations, what I saw him in the friendly, even what I saw him in some of the under-23 clips we saw, he has enough about him to be playing 1-2 games. He's big. He can move. Again, is dust in this league. He needs movement. He doesn't. He's a good tackler. What's that one? He was one of the players, the defenders, who made the least tackles because he didn't have to. He's good at reading the game. Like he's not rash. Like that's Gabriel. Gabriel loves tackle, which is brilliant. But he didn't do that. Not. It's like it just. It bothers people. Some people are saying, "Oh, he needs time to settle in." Settle in for what? What's him sitting on the not even on the bench? What's him sitting at home doing for settling in? Like that doesn't make any sense. There are plenty of players in this league who are young, who are under the age of 21, who are playing. I mean, freaking Gomez at Liverpool was playing at 19 or younger for Liverpool, and he's still making mistakes now because you expect it because they're young. They're going to make mistakes, and I feel like the cowardice levels is rising. And it's severely because I think people are trying to use the fact that his mother passed away as an excuse, and I'm like, that is a traumatic event that I haven't thankfully gone through. But he himself has said he's fine. His representative has said he's fit and ready. Like the friends are all over this stuff. The boy is ready to play, and you won't play him.
This is where we as supporters go through again another transition of understanding why these decisions are made, because it doesn't look good upon us when we have a game against Dundalk next for European football, and then we've got United in the league. And I'll be honest, with United, I reckon we'll have them still.
Pardon?
If Arteta doesn't mess about and put the right players on, and they just do the right thing in the first few minutes of the game and do what's necessary until the end, we'll win that game. I believe we'll beat United. I will beat United, I swear.
What do you think the score predictions for the Dundalk game is going to be?
Whew. You know what? This is hopefully coming from the bottom of my heart. 3-0 Arsenal. 3-0 Arsenal. Whoever's up top will score twice. I don't know who, but I'm just going with that approach. Whoever's up top will get 2 goals.
I'm going to stick with my 3-1 purely because I just don't trust Bailey.
We always have a goal in it. We always have a goal in us, man. We're not. I hear you.
Trust someone in there not to do something stupid. I can say it's stupid happening, so they'll get a goal. They don't be brilliant. But I wouldn't put it past the club as a whole to do something stupid, like, or it'll be from a corner and something stupid will happen, or something. You know, like I can just see something dumb and get a goal. And
no, I feel you.
I think, I think we'll score 3 goals. It'd be, I think, whoever's up top or on the wing or whatever attacker is there, they'll score.
One of the attackers will be clinching onto one of those deliveries.
I feel like Nketiah will get a goal. I think he'll play.
I have a feeling Pepe is going to play again. I think he's going to start. If he doesn't start Pepe, then Nelson. But I reckon I'm sticking with it. I reckon Arteta's going to start Pepe and he'll get a goal.
For me, should be Nelson on the left, Nketiah up top, Pepe on the right. Because I don't trust Pepe enough. He needs every game possible to get up something. He needs to play in this
100%.
game.
His form right now is pathetic. Comparing him to Aubameyang's form, I'm more concerned with Pepe because Aubameyang, it just takes him 1 or 2 games and he'll be fine.
While getting onto Aubameyang, he's not scoring at his normal rate. Like he was scoring leaps and bounds above what he should have been scoring last season. So people are using that as their next one. Like Aubameyang was next level last season because it was literally a case of God said you will score.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff he was doing was not supposed to be happening because we were crap. We were one of the worst teams in the league. He was getting goals out of shots he could not have been making. So it literally, what's happening now is that it's caught up with him. The lack of service is caught up with him now because he's a service staff and we need to give him service. So for Aubameyang, I feel like it will just come back around eventually. He'll start scoring again. Pepe is one I'm worried about because he is the one I say every single game available, play that boy. He needs to play himself into form.
It's the truth. Like if I'm honest, every game in the next upcoming games or so, for example, it's prove your worth because honestly, there's no need for us to keep forcing him to play. If he's not going to perform, I'll happily see him on the bench. So these next few games he needs to start building his chances to actually get his form up. Otherwise,
This is part of the reason why I want Martin to play in the Dundalk game. I want them both to play because if Martin plays you up, I don't care I'm not fussed about the opposition. But if Martin plays you up, then that's my faith in Pepe is just going to drop even more because you're already getting thrown up by one teenager. If now Nelson's even showed some glimpses last season that I preferred over him. If it happens again, then big man, I don't know for Pepe because before my argument for starting him was because he's the best of a bad situation, so you have to start him at least playing consistently. But if I see Nelson have a decent game with him, Pepe can play that. It's getting on my head.
It's the truth. But I'm having my biggest concerns with him if he plays in that United game, and I say more so if he starts in that United game because in the last however many games, Pepe does not kickstart straight off the first few minutes. Like he takes time to settle or gets into the groove in the latter stages. And in my opinion, I think that's such a backwards approach. And if him, Laka, Aubameyang are all 3 gonna play in that United game at the same time, someone needs to just hit the revs on and just get the car moving. Like there's no way I'm expecting. My heart, I know we're gonna beat United, but I feel it's gonna be like a 1-0. It's a 1-0 situation.